Hi everyone, today we are going to be working on relating multiplication and division. So our EQ is how can I relate multiplication and division? So we are going to be looking at something and working with something called fact families. And you may have heard fact families in the past talking about addition and subtraction fact families, but today we're going to be talking about multiplication and division. So what you see on the screen is a triangle. And you can see on the triangle there are 3 numbers. Now, what I always like to tell my students is that the factors are at the bottom of the triangle and the total is at the top. So we can write 4 equations or 4 multiplication and division sentences using this triangle. The first one, 4 times 5 equals our total at the top, 20. Remember, when we're multiplying, we're trying to determine the total. Now, we have talked about the flip-flop, the commutative property, right? Flip-flop. So if we know 4 times 5 is 20, we also know that 5 times 4, we're going backwards, 5 times 4 equals 20. 20 is our total. Now, we can also write 2 division equations, okay? So remember with division, we always start with the total. And if we know the total is at the top of our triangle, 20 must come first. 20 divided by, so we're going to follow our line down of the triangle. 20 divided by 4 equals, now if we've used the 20 and the 4, that means our 5 is left. 20 divided by 4 is 5. We can write one more, 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So with fact families, unless 2 of the numbers are the same, unless 2 of the factors are the same, you can always write 4 multiplication or division facts. 2 multiplication, 2 division. Let's look at this one. So remember I just said we can write 4 facts. 2 multiplication. So some number times some number equals something, and 2 division. Something divided by something equals blank. Let's see if we can fill in our blanks. So let's look at our multiplication problem first. Remember, we're looking for the total, and I just told you before that the total goes at the top of the triangle. So we're going to use our factors at the bottom. So 3 times 6 equals 18. 18 is the total. And then think about the flip-flop. 6 times 3 must equal 18. And then remember in division, the total always comes first. And the total's at the top, so that must be 18 divided by 3 equals 6. And then 18, the total, divided by 6 equals 3. Let's look at this one. So if I have, we just did that one. Let's do 10, 5, and 2. Remember, we can have 2 multiplication facts and 2 division facts if our factors are different. And we can see that we have a 5 and a 2. They are different, so we're going to have 2. 2 multiplication, 2 division. So I'm going to go ahead and write those blanks in. Remember with multiplication, we're looking for the total, and with division, we're starting with the total. So my first equation, my first multiplication sentence, 5 times 2 must equal the total at the top, 10. Remember the flip-flop or the commutative property, 2 times 5 equals 10. And then with division, the total always goes first, and my total is 10 because it's at the top of the triangle, divided by 5 must equal 2, and 10, which is the total, 10 divided by 2 equals 5. All right, I do want to show you one. where the factors are the same. So if you look at this triangle, you can see that 5 and 5 are the same number. So when your factors, or when you have two of the same factors, then you only have two problems because, and I will explain, when you flip-flop, it's the same number. So let's look at the first one. Remember, the total is at the top of our triangle, so it would be 5 times 5 equals 25. Now we could write it again, right? But if we flip-flopped it, it's still going to be 5 times 5. So there's no reason in writing it twice. So then let's look at the division. Remember, the total's at the top, and the total always comes first in division. 25 divided by 5 must equal 5. And again, we could flip-flop these two 5s here, but it would still be the same because the factors were the same when we started. And that is how you use a triangle to determine your fact families and to see how multiplication relates to division.